got somebody with hair, almost like a werewolf.
Welcome to the show already in progress. I did not realize I clicked the button on that. But this is Fabulous Wrestling Talk WWE. We are talking about SummerSlam, arguably, as we just said, might be the best pay per view of the year. A little recency bias, maybe, but the next 30 minutes or so, maybe we're going to argue and make a really good case. Now, of course, I'm Jeremy York. He's my tag team partner, Daniel Snyder. How are you, Daniel?
I'm good, bud. Good, good. Enjoy the weekend of like we had mentioned, probably one of the best PLEs of this year, probably in a while.
I mean, what a gift Triple H gave you for your birthday.
Right? Where he said, here you go.
I mean, rarely they ever put anything on my birthday. I can't even get a hockey game to happen on mine. So, enjoy that. I say that and watch, they'll put something on it this time. But SummerSlam, wow. Uh, it's what I said earlier that I believe the two biggest moments had to do with the beginning and the end, but there was so much in between, so many things. We had tons of title changes. We will get into those in a second. Um, you know, I guess start with just your overall feel of it. I mean, I know you liked it as much as I did, but just overall feel of how this thing went.
I think that Triple H said SummerSlam is one of the big four. We've got to make it like one of the big four.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it felt like one of the big four. This will be the last time that SummerSlam will be a one night event, I believe.
I agree.
And I think that he pushed so hard for like they got 7 matches in. It was a 3 hour show, no, 4 hour show because it went off about 11. It started at 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and so it was great. It was great. It was great. I really enjoyed it. I was going to boycott SummerSlam. I mean, I was going to boycott WWE if something didn't happen. So I'm glad I didn't have to boycott it.
Me too, because it would have been really difficult to do this show.
I know, right? It would have been the last show. This would have been our last show, guys.
Yeah, it would have been. I would have had to, get one of my cats to co-host or something. Or we'd have to swap focus and cover curling or something.
We'd go back and cover the 1996
Yeah.
and 7 Raw and Nitros.
Hey, that would be cool. But we would have to all get about 2 extra hours in the day to be able to catch up and watch all that.
Man, oh man, you are not lying.
But let's start right out of the gate. Like I said, the two best storylines, I think, bookended this whole thing. I'm a little biased, but also look at the ratings. I'm not that biased when I say that. They open up as something you said in playing in WWE 2K. Triple H gives you tips. I had to know that because I've helped with the production of wrestling shows, so I know that your main event is your top match on paper. Your opener, your very first match, is your second best on paper. And they open up right out of the gate with Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. You got Dom down there. You've got all what Dom having Liv in tears the other day. You get this whole just complete chaos going on with just three people. I mean, you could add Jey Uso if you want, but you don't even need an extra person to make this just as crazy as it is. And overall, even Rhea knocking her shoulder out of place multiple times, it looked like at least once. She did it legit at least once. I don't know if it kept going back in and out, but when she speared the announce table in order to knock it back in and then suddenly could wrestle again, that hurt me a little bit.
Yeah, Rhea's a beast. She is a beast. I think we both knew that Dirty Dom was gonna turn on Rhea here. Well, I knew. I think I caught it in the pre-show that Liv would keep the belt because of the turn
Yeah.
by Dirty Dom, and that's what happened, man.
What a great
They got
turn,
them a
too.
nice, good kiss in there after, right? Yeah, it was. Yeah, yeah. Hey, man, look, Dominique he's becoming a superstar, man. He's becoming nobody can manipulate like he does. You could tell that
I
he's
think
got
it's
it
in
in
his
his
blood.
blood. Yeah,
I
that's what I'm
think it's in
saying. You
his
can tell
blood.
it's in his blood. Yeah,
That's crazy. We just said the same word at the same time, and that we
yeah.
have not said that. But no, let's do a real quick checklist. in the time that he's been Dirty Dom, in the time he's been Dirty Dom, um, has he lied? Has he lied about anything? Multiple things,
Yeah,
right? Has he cheated? Yeah,
yeah.
he's getting pretty good at it. Has he stolen anything?
I'm pretty sure he stole my heart.
He stole at least two of those ladies' hearts, if not all of ours.
Right.
I'm gonna make the case, and I hate it because I have met his dad, and his dad's super nice. Um, I think this guy's really his dad.
That's his poppy.
I think it is. He
He
looks like him. He acts like
looks
him.
like him. I'm telling you.
He might be Eddie Jr. He needs to work on some skill a
I'm
little bit because Eddie was just otherworldly there. But as far as his acting skills and his manipulation, he's Latino Heat 2.0. Stealing the
yes, yes,
ladies.
yes, yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
Eddie Guerrero once had China as an on-screen girlfriend.
Yeah, I
That's
remember that.
that's hard to pull off.
Triple H pulled the off-screen version. But
He did.
it was a good match. This was a great open and it was entertaining throughout the whole thing and had a great ending, but this would not be the end of the Judgment Day that we would see. Or
No, no,
the
no. And I
yeah.
haven't seen Monday, but I pretty much predicted for like a
Ooh.
month or so how the Judgment Day is going to kind of spread out, and you can kind of see it already. Even if you haven't seen Monday, and I haven't,
I watched
even if
Monday.
you haven't either, it's they've spread out a little bit.
But like you called when we started the show last week, we'll also get onto this a little bit later, but the Bloodline did win the tag team championships. But once again, we'll touch on that just a little bit later on at the end of the show when we talk about that match
Yeah,
with Cody and Solo. So who we got at
but
number two? Because no, number two was one of my favorites match. I was happy
I
to
think,
see.
and I liked it as much for a an off-screen video that I saw as much as I did the match because Braun Breaker had a spectacular match with Sami Zayn. He ends up with the Intercontinental Championship. He probably hasn't looked better than he looked in there. I hate it for Sammy, but Sammy finally got the run on top that he deserved, and that's what he's most appreciative about. He got to do so many things because of the run they gave him and because of the person he is. So you know, shout out to Sami Zayn for what he did, but Braun might go on a pretty long streak himself with the IC belt, and seeing his dad and uncle, the
Up
Steiner
in the
brothers, for everybody who's
Yeah.
late to the party, seeing that video of them react, I don't know that they knew that he was going to win. They react. They don't react as though, oh, I'm proud of my kid. Oh, I'm proud of my nephew. They react like, are you serious? He just won, and they look very surprised. So I thought that was a great moment up in the alumni section that DDP and all the other ones just turned around and said, "Hey, that kid's got something."
Yeah. Um, they had to put I mean, he had to win this one. If Sammy would have won this one, then you're gonna be sitting back like, what are we doing, guys? What are we
Yes.
doing?
Yeah. Now what?
Yeah, because this is Braun's chance. Braun now he has to shine because now they're saying, are you the ultimate warrior, ultimate warrior that can take this IC belt and turn it into a possible world championship belt? Are you the next Gunther? Um, so happy to see it. I think he's going to be a beast. I think that he technically could be the second coming of a Brock type champion.
Now
Minus
he's
all
about
the,
half as tall, but it's that's no knock on him. Brock is a big guy.
I thought he was like 6'1", 6'2".
Who Braun? No,
Yeah.
Braun Breaker is 5'10" on a good day, and he might be standing on a box.
You think so?
He's a small guy. Remember, I covered him at KSU, so unless he grew
Yeah.
3 or 4 inches, he's 5'10", 5'11". He might be at 6 foot, but I always stood over the top of him, and I'm right at 6 foot.
Okay. But he's a monster.
He is.
Good match. I was happy to see he won the belt.
Absolutely. And like I said, like you said, this sets up so many fun matchups between people he knows from NXT and other people on the roster that I think he's just going to match up well with. I
And
mean,
he's going to
even
be a face. they've tried to make him a heel here against Sammy. Nobody wants to boo him.
No, no, they don't. And that's the problem is because I think some good opponents for him would be the New Day, but they're clearly faces, so you got to go a different direction. I mean, let him. He'll take out Ludwig Kaiser or some of those kind of guys.
Well, just a heads up, um, Austin Theory and the Australian was traded to Raw.
Grayson Waller. Yep.
Yeah, Grayson Waller. They were traded to Raw, so there's two potential great matches. I think right there. I think him and
Yeah.
Austin Theory would be a great match. I
Yeah.
think Austin Theory's underrated, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Hey, that's a battle for Atlanta right there because you got A Town Down versus Marietta.
There you go.
Although Braun, I think, claims Atlanta, he's from Cobb County, folks. I trust me. He went to KSU. His dad still sells real estate, and he's on the school board over there. And his uncle still owns a Shoney's with an actual bar attached to it.
There you go.
Not to mention they're pretty good wrestlers. But I mean, there's not a lot we could say about that. This was actually a lot of people were not as concerned that this was only a 5.5 minute match. This match actually went shorter. It was supposed to be a 10-minute match, and for some reason, they just ran through the stuff so fast that they just kind of got to the end and said, "All right, here's the end."
It didn't even feel like it was short though. It was an
No, it felt
entertaining
like
match.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
And
But
that
my
tells you how good they are, is that you thought that match was 10 minutes longer than it actually was, and it was only 5 minutes long.
but my favorite match of the night was the next one. If I'm correct about what the next one is.
Let's see. If I had to pick a match and say that this next one was probably your favorite, I would probably say, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, LA Knight, Logan Paul. I do think Logan Paul did get dinged up, and I do think he's got an injury that's going to keep him out for a minute. That legit, I don't know what happened with that superplex brainbuster or whatever in the world they ended up doing. But I do think he legit got hurt there, but he finished the match. You would have never known it. Logan Paul, at some point, you had to move the belt off of him as well. And like we said, LA Knight, if he don't get the nod this time, I mean, what is he doing? He's just stuck in limbo, never going to do anything.
Yeah. Happy to see it, man. But even though I wanted LA Knight to win, I've been rooting for LA Knight for the longest. I'm glad to see him with this title on him. I have to give credit where credit's due. Logan Paul we've been saying it for the longest, and I'm gonna keep singing
Mhm.
his praises. This dude is a superstar in the making. He's already
Oh,
there,
yeah.
but I would not be upset with seeing him with a 3 or 4 month run with one of the titles, one of the main titles.
Right.
Just because he can perform. That's what it comes down to. He can perform. I'd actually love to see him take the title off of Cody for a little bit, but we know that's not going to happen because there's a whole nother.
If if he wasn't injured, I think we could make that case. But
Oh
until
yeah,
I
he's
don't
hurt
think
right
it's
now. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I mean it's not oh he's hurt. No, he's legit. He's getting checked out. I think he's gonna be okay, but it'll probably be a couple months. He probably needs a break anyway, because he goes hard.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, it was a great match. Two great performers. They perform.
Oh yeah.
I think LA Knight's going to be that champion. Everybody that I've been wanting, and this is another one of those like the Braun, where okay, LA, here's the United States title. Let's see
Hmm.
what you do with that. Can
Yeah.
can you show us that you can run with the title?
Yep.
So
Because
I'm
I
excited for
mean,
this.
history is littered with examples of people that did and didn't. One of the best examples is when the U.S. title got put on one Jonathan Cena, and
Yes.
he not only made it his own, he made it into a spinner, like really cool little like that whole thing he did. He created a whole new subculture to WWE that allowed him to have the run he did. And that's they look at LA Knight and they look at Braun and they go, here's the ball, run with it. Braun definitely knows how to run with the ball, but I think LA
Yeah.
Knight will as well.
Yeah. But yeah, another great match. I'm happy LA won. I think once again, I think the next match was the downer.
This one and the next one.
Okay.
This one and the next one, because the one I told, the one I was insinuating about earlier is not the next one; it's the one after.
Okay. So I'm wondering what the next one was then.
The next one is all hail Queen Naya, who is
Okay, this is the
now
one I was, yeah.
your your women's
World
champion.
champion. Yeah.
See, but here's why this makes sense. For one, Nia finally getting her due because I think she's been champ before. Bailey probably wants to scale back a little bit. Anyway, she did a great job of running with this title. Anytime Bailey has it, it's going to mean something. But to hand it off to Nia and to have Nia just snatch it from her like that, and to have her little underling beside her that also has the ability to steal the title from her, that's the whole storyline now is when is Tiffy time going to actually start, as opposed to, oh, she should cash on Bailey. Well, Tiffany on Bailey is an okay cash, but
Is obvious.
Nia gets compromised in some place anywhere. It doesn't have to be in the wrestling ring. I don't know how many people don't believe that. That can be that briefcase can be cashed in anywhere there's a referee. So walking around the back, you can go, I want to do it right now. Nia
I
slips and falls, you got her.
I think, like you said, this might be the same thing with Logan to give Bailey a little time off.
Yeah.
Um, they did want to give Queen Nia
Yeah.
a run with the title, and I think this is going to eventually set up a feud with Nia and Tiffy time
Yep. And
because
I think Tiffany's gonna flip to a face.
see, I'm thinking it's going to be the other way though. I'm
I think
thinking it's
Nia's
going
gonna
to be
flip.
Nia, and this is this
It
is
could be.
this
I can
is
see that too.
because the way Tiffy's going, I mean, the fans might decide which one actually, because the way it's going to
Mhm.
happen is um not Tiffy's going to be down there with Nia when she's in a bad match or something's happening and she's like knocked out or whatever, and she's gonna like kind of look around and she's gonna like bump it, let's turn it in, and she's going about to turn it in, and then Nia's going to get up. She's like, "What was you doing?" And that's going to start the little thing with them.
Yep.
So I see that even though they're friends now, and you could argue the case that Tiffany helped her win the title.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Oh
think
yeah.
she had any plans of turning in at that point in that match. And
No.
my favorite part of that though, of Nia winning, was they had Bailey lose strong. Nia didn't
Yeah.
sit on her once. She did it multiple times,
Yep.
letting you know I have to do this to beat Bailey
Yep.
because Bailey's a good champion. So
Oh
they
yeah.
went about it the right way. I was just so with the match. I was wrong about this one strictly because I thought Tiffany was. See, I don't watch much of them, so I wasn't sure. I didn't know her and Tiffany were Nia and Tiffany were homies. If I'd have known that, I probably would have had a different.
It's more of a mutual business relation that they have more than they are friends, I would say. Is it's they kind of Timon and Pumbaa from
Got you.
Lion King. They don't, I mean, now granted those two were friends in the Lion King, but they rely on each other because what Nia does well, Tiffy don't. And what Tiffy does well, Nia don't. So they kind of can balance each other. So, I got your back, you
Sean and
got mine.
Diesel.
Yeah,
Sean and Diesel.
exactly. And at
Got you.
some point there's going to be a rift between them, and when it does, it's going to be spectacular.
Got you. Okay. What do we got next? The
We
Gunther.
got the match, huh?
The Gunther.
No, nope.
What am I forgetting about?
See, this is helping my point so much. Is that I think the WWE universe is ready to move on from this, and we are still due one more blow off match to get done with all the people involved in this. And you're the one that predicted it. The next matchup was Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk with Seth Rollins as the referee. The WWE
Yeah.
universe checked out of this one. Now they were in
Yeah.
it for a lot of reasons, and they were cheering here and there and booing here and there, but I think the audience was telling Triple H right there, can we move on? I'm tired of seeing these two argue and Seth Rollins not be an active participant in the match.
Well, on Raw, CM Punk came out there, and then Seth came out there, and those two were about to go at it. And then Drew came from up in the crowd
Mm-hmm.
and was still talking about how he had the bracelet. So
Yeah.
you could tell they've got one more in them. But yeah. This man, it's really because of the injury to CM Punk previously. This has been going on for too long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
like you said, I totally
AEW has
forgot about it. Totally forgot about it.
AEW has a similar thing where they have a story. They had a storyline between their top person MJF and at the time his friend that betrayed him, Adam Cole. The problem was is Adam Cole was hurt towards the end of that, and he's basically been gone about 6 months. And so they finally just scrapped it because you can only prolong it so long based on an injury or based on it. Just sometimes it goes too long, and that's pretty much where you're at now, where it just I mean, we need to cue Peter Griffin here to go, oh my God, who the hell cares?
Yeah. Yeah. And I knew Seth would get involved somehow. It Drew won. Good job. On to the
And that was
next.
a and we said that. That was a good win for him. And here's what I'd do if I was Triple H. I'd go, all right. I'd actually come out and just say, all right, they're done with it. I'm done with it, and you guys are about to be done with it. It's going to be
Triple threat.
versus you, and the winner's
Yes.
the number one contender, and the other two go to the back of the line. Don't care.
Yeah.
We're going to be
Yeah.
done with this. So I don't care if it's in a Hell in a Cell. I don't care if it's in a garbage dump. I don't care if you guys decide to play checkers, whatever. I guess you'd have to do something else because there's three of them. Don't care how you guys do it, but between the
We're
three
gonna
of
play
you, whoever wins,
dominoes.
number one contender, and the other two go to opposite corners.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, the,
Totally
the
forgot.
crowd dictated. The crowd told us we're done. So as the crowd told us, we are as well. Now we're moving on to the Gunther
Gunther. Yeah.
versus Damian Priest. Weird ending. I
I did
don't
not
think
see this coming.
I don't think that this was based on an injury. I don't think it was in anything like that. I think this was the actual what they wrote because they want Damian to still look strong because I mean him and Gunther are real close to being just stat for stat. I didn't understand why Gunther won here though, because I thought Priest should have had it at least a couple more times before he lost it to somebody and not
Well,
held on it too long like Cody does.
I feel like they went ahead and put it on Gunther because they want him to go. They want the title to go against a good guy, Damian Priest, or a face.
Yeah,
Damian Priest is now a face, and I think the next they're going to put Priest versus Finn Balor for a good bit. Finn, even though he is a tag team champion, ain't he a tag team champion right now?
he is. Yep, him and
He
JD McDonough.
that 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 belt will be dropped eventually because I think they're about to move Finn to um, a solo star again because they're still together. Judgment Day is still a thing. It just Damian and Rhea are not part of it. Um,
As I
so
predicted.
once again on Raw, I'll fill you in since you didn't get to see it.
Mhm.
Um, they were beating down Damian because he went against JD McDonough, whatever his name is, and
Yep.
Carlito, Dominique, and Finn were all beating down Damian, and then Rhea came in and pretty much saved the day. So uh, it's going to be pretty interesting how they go with this. It's obvious that Rhea and Damian are the faces. Um, it was a good match. In my opinion, Priest was in control of the entire match.
He was. Which
He was slapping
technically
up his chest.
most of the time, oh yeah, they were slapping each other pretty good. Most of the time, the veterans are the ones who are in control of the matches as far as a lot of the things they call, a lot of the things that go on. And by far, Damian has Gunther by probably a decade of experience, which is crazy because Gunther's been around a while too. But a lot of people don't realize, like I said, he might be in between our ages. He's right, if not, he's right above them. He's a lot
Yeah,
older than you think. He's been around a long
he's about
time. So
45, I think.
yeah, he's something like that. I'll have to ask his buddy next time I see his buddy, but I guess I could just Wikipedia it or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think Priest was in charge of calling a lot of this match, and I think Gunther just was like, okay, I'll let you lead the dance, and you just tell me where to go and when. And it played out pretty good, but just to have Gunther use the sleeper hold, basically, it's nice to see that as a finisher again. But it just because basically all it is a rear naked choke, and that's what he kind of does. But it was just weird how it played out, and I don't. it took Raw for us to realize that they're just setting up Finn versus Damian. Like you couldn't quite draw that parallel after Priest lost the belt. Like you're kind of like, well, something may happen, but I don't know that they're going to fight yet.
Well, I mean, I kind of figured they was because just the way Finn kind of cost him the match. I would say Finn
Yeah,
cost him the match.
but it was like it was almost too blatant. Like
Yeah,
the way he just was hanging around and he was staring and he was looking all goofy, and you're like, all right, just do it already then, because this, we see it. Just go ahead and do it.
but yeah, I mean, it was a good match, but let's see how this next title run goes for Gunther
Oh yeah. Let's see. I think we got about 7 minutes left. So
for the main event.
before we get into the main event, who do you think Gunther's first? I mean, maybe they said it on Raw, and I just didn't see it. Who do you think his first
They
opponent is?
didn't say it that I know of.
I think
I
I think
think
I know who it is.
it's. I think it my who came down? Oh, yeah. Someone did come down and face him face to face. They had interaction. Who do you think it
Okay.
is first?
I think it's Yeet.
Nope.
Okay. That's who I do.
Ra- Randy Orton.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay. That way
I
he
think
wins his
that
first.
I think that they want him to go against somebody that is a veteran,
Yeah.
and so yeah, so it's gonna be against Randy. Randy came out there and he got face to face with him and was like, "You think you're a legend? You must have forgot I'm a legend killer."
Yeah.
So
Okay. A legend killer who probably last killed a legend, I don't know, 15 years ago.
yeah, yeah, but still, Randy Orton's still the man. I like
He
Randy.
is. He is. I'll always be an Orton fan. All right. Now that I
Here
wasted a
we
minute
go.
and a half on that. Cody Rhodes, Solo Sokoa. This was the unfortunate thing for all the work they put into Solo. Solo has done okay. He's been a decent de facto leader, and we've all kind of known he's not technically the one. Um, the unfortunate things that happened during this match were this exposed how big the gap is between the main event level and where Solo is. Solo is still kind of on an intercontinental level, which is not a knock, but he just he's not there yet. And the unfortunate part where Jacob Fatu hurt his ankle, I don't know exactly what he did. I know he was in a walking boot. That's legit. When he jumped on the table, he hit his leg on something there and immediately turned around and you went, that's not good.
It was on the front end of the
Yeah.
table. Yeah, and you kind of see it happen. There's been some whispers that it's not as bad and that
Yeah.
almost it might have been planned to keep him from being able to jump in there when Roman appeared. Because what keeps him
Well,
from I mean, there's been
okay.
some whispers of that because they're like, what's the best way we can keep him from jumping in the ring when Roman comes? Because we don't want them two facing each other yet. He gets hurt on the dive.
Or what if, some of us have predicted already, what if when this
He's
divide
working with
happens,
Roman.
he's not going to get in Roman's way because he's on Roman's side. He
Hey,
might play it off as though, oh no, I wasn't able to get in there and help Solo, or instead he's just like, there's my tribal chief.
the OTC. This it was a
Great
good
shirt
match.
too. I
Yeah.
almost bought that shirt after seeing him come out with it. I had to hide my wallet for a good 2 hours.
As we talked about before we started filming, haven't heard a pop like this in a long time.
No,
Um, I was even though I kind of figured he was coming, I kind of popped over here. They probably heard me in Cleveland. Um,
oh, that's right. That's where
that's
they were.
yeah, that's what I liked about the SummerSlam. There were so many moments where I popped, and as a
Hmm.
fan, not being able to do that in a long time, just because it is I don't know. It's good that it's bit back like that. This match was an okay match. It served its purpose. Its purpose
Yeah,
was let's see where Solo's at. Let's
yeah.
see him in a main event, and let's welcome back the original tribal chief.
Oh yeah, yeah. And for people who are under a rock or don't know what we're talking about, Roman did come back in the end. One of the other unfortunate parts is Cody Rhodes acting like he's never been at a main event wrestling show before. He kept like no Roman, don't, and Roman was just like, sit down, shut up, stay over there. Let me take this is a family thing. Let me take care of family. I don't even care that you're here right now. I gotta right this wrong, and we'll talk about it Friday. And Cody the whole time was just trying to act distraught, and I was like, Cody, nobody in the building believes that you're upset by this.
You were the only person looking at him. Everybody
Yep.
else was concerned with what was going on. But yeah, great ending, great start, premium live event.
That and special shout out. Machine Gun Kelly had a cameo with Logan Paul,
Jelly
and
Roll.
a little bit later, the Jelly Roll choke slam. That hey, I give that about a 9 out of 10. That was an impressive choke slam. He did it to Waller. In theory, he worked with them. Those are great guys to work with. Uh, Jelly Roll. If the music thing ever doesn't work out, I think we might could find you a home in the wrestling ring.
I'm telling you, enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, I mean WWE's always been good at sneaking those cameos in there and making them mean something and not just faces in the crowd. And I thought they did spectacular with those particular guys. So about a minute and a half to go. So just final thoughts or any particular moment you felt outshine the rest.
Um, there were so many moments, like the championships changing that needed to change
Mhm.
hands. I felt like the
Forward.
ones needed to stay that stayed. The whole nothing outshined Roman coming back.
No.
It was a great, it was great. It's tough for WWE though because they got to change it up. I mean, they got to follow that.
Yeah. Yeah, and they keep making great show after great show. For people who don't know, it's making AEW nervous because they thought they were catching them, and they've kind of took a dive here lately and had to really scramble with some different stuff. And WWE just keeps going, "Oh, that's cute." It's been quite interesting, and not that we care because we don't care about being cool, but it's cool to be a wrestling fan. So people are coming out to
Yes.
local shows, people are watching now on TV again, and you're kind of not cool if you're not watching wrestling. So hopefully, if you're watching wrestling, you're watching this show, and uh, we've reached the end of this one. So we're gonna go shine our title belts that we have because nobody is better than us as a media duo. But for my co-host, I guess there he is. He's that way. Daniel Snyder. I am Jeremy York. We will see you guys next time. Fabulous Wrestling Talk. WWE. Deuces, gooses.